Hey, you guys, what's up? Y'all already know who it is. It's your girl, Miss Britt. And yes, I am your favorite evangelist, author, and entrepreneur. How's everybody doing today? Thank you so much for joining Rise. Step into your power, kings and queens out there. I pray your day has been blessed. My day has been amazing so far, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys to share this prophetic word God gave me about 2 weeks ago. Okay, so here we go. So 2 weeks ago, I was just sitting here writing in my journal, as I do often. I'm a writer. That's who I am. And I've been going through some things in my life. If you haven't seen my last message that I did on Facebook Live, where I was talking about you have to let things fall, check it out. But in that message, I was saying that it's time to rise and step into our power. But with doing that, we have to allow things to fall, right? We have to allow certain people to fall, right? We have to allow certain mentalities, certain habits, certain patterns to fall in order to be separated. The word of God says, come out from among them and be ye separated. So the prophetic word that God gave me for today is elevation requires separation. Ain't that something? Elevation requires separation. And I'm a living witness that that is the truest statement I have ever encountered in my life, okay? In my life. I've definitely been in a cycle and a season where I've been closing out old cycles, and I've been allowing myself to separate myself, not intentionally, not maliciously. I don't have any hatred in my heart for anybody, but I had to understand the assignment. Some of y'all not understanding the assignment out there. Some of y'all not understanding that y'all are chosen. Some of y'all are not understanding that y'all are called for a bigger purpose in this life, in this lifetime. So with that, you're going to have to separate yourself from some people, from some things, because you're going higher. We're going higher in God. God is not moving in the same way that he moved yesterday. He's not moving in the same way that he moved 2 weeks ago. He's not moving in the same way that he moved a year ago, a month ago. God is moving in a new season. And so we need to place ourselves in a position to where we are aligned with God so that we can receive everything that God has for us. And not only to receive, but to give. We are here to be a giver and a receiver. But if we're not receiving anything from God, how can we give to God's people? How can we give to God's people if we're so busy being distracted, if we're too busy going about our daily lives, if we're too busy working, if we're too busy taking care of our children? We have to learn how to separate ourselves. And yes, you still may love your family, but at the end of the day, God is calling you for a higher purpose. And I'm not talking about just owning them. I'm not talking about abandoning them, but you have to learn how to separate yourself. And let me tell you this. What I mean by separating yourself is you have to completely separate from the person they used to know. Let me say that again. You have to completely separate yourself from the person they used to know. Yes, they used to know me as 220-pound Brittany. I'm not that same person. Yes, they used to know me as somebody who used to smoke.
Y'all.
Oh, wait a minute, Jesus. Here we go again, y'all. My playlist just started playing out of nowhere. But listen, it's okay though, because it's just confirming to me that I'm on the right track. So elevation requires separation. You have to, in order to elevate your mind, in order to elevate your life, in order to elevate who you are called to be. First off, let's start here. Do you even know who you're called to be? Let's start there. Because I had came from a long cycle of not knowing who I was, of allowing any and everything to happen in my life, just going along with the flow, just going along. Well, I guess this is my life. I guess my mom them did it this way, my dad them did it this way. I guess I got to do it this way too. No, boo boo. No, God said not so. Because why? Because you're called and because you're chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen, and you're amongst the few if you found this video today. So what I need you to do is act like you got some sense and elevate yourself. Separate yourself from them people who's always talking negative about you. Separate yourself about those people who don't believe in your dreams. Separate yourself from the people who always want to have a poverty mentality and a lack mentality and don't want to do nothing with themselves and just want to work. And there's listen, no shade. No shade to nobody who just wants to work. I applaud you. You got to take care of your family. You got to feed your kids. I understand that. So no shade to nobody who has to work. But what I'm saying is the people who go to work and complain about going to work. People who complain about having a job instead of thanking God and being grateful that they do have a job to pay their bills and to feed their kids and to put gas in their car. We don't want to entertain those people who want to complain about having a job when there are people out here homeless. We don't want to entertain those foolishness. So that's what I mean. You have to elevate yourself. You have to separate yourself. You have to be the change that you want to see. You have to be the one to be like, okay, girl, well, I'm going to work today. I don't care if you're getting paid minimum wage. You have to be the one to be like, okay, well, yeah, cool, girl. I'll see you. I'll see you later. Okay, bro. Yeah, I'll get up with you after I've worked this shift. You have to do that. You have to do that. Elevation requires separation. Y'all never gonna get anywhere. And I'm speaking from experience. I was never getting anywhere because I had all this negativity coming into my mind. I was harboring all this negativity. I was listening to the wrong people. I was hanging around the wrong people. I was doing the wrong things. I was entertaining different relationships that did not mean me any good. But guess what? The devil thought he had me, but guess what? It all worked out for my good. For my good. So I'm here to let you know that if you want to elevate in this season, if you want all the blessings that God has stored up for you in heaven in this season, you are going to have to learn how to separate yourself. You're going to have to learn to put your foot down. You're going to have to learn to go out there and grind. You're going to have to learn to believe in your own self. And I'm speaking to myself because I had a real bad habit of wanting everybody to support me, wanting everybody to believe in me, wanting everybody to see the vision just like I seen it. But God had to come and let me know that everybody is not going to see the vision like you see it because I didn't give it to them. This was not a conference call between me, you, him, she, them, they. No, it was between a conference call between me and God. So I had to learn how to separate myself. I had to learn how to separate myself from the old Brittany. And that's when Miss Britt was born. I had to learn how to separate myself from the negative Brittany. I had to believe in myself. I had to believe that I could be an author. I had to believe that I could be a business owner. I had to believe that I am a good mother. I had to believe that with my whole heart. So I had to separate myself first completely from the woman that I thought I knew. And as I began to separate myself from the old Brittany that I thought I knew, things just started happening to my life. Miracle signs and wonders started overtaking my life because I let it fall. I let it fall. That negative thinking was not doing me. It was not serving me for my highest purpose. It was not elevating me to the person that you see sitting here before you today. So I had to let that old Brittany fall. I had to be ye transformed by the renewing of my mind. And that's found in Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, do not conform to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. We have to learn how to renew our mind daily. And one way I had to learn how to renew my mind is I had to start doing affirmations. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am creative. I am talented. I am above and not beneath. I am the lender and not the borrower. These things begin to shift my perspective. These things begin to shift my atmosphere. These things begin to shift my prayer life. These things begin to shift the way I fasted and I prayed. And it focused my intention on what I was trying to accomplish in this season. And I wanted to be elevated. I wanted to go for God. I wanted to be anointed. I wanted to be the one that He called and chosen in this season. So therefore, I had to learn how to separate myself from these 5-minute prayers. I had to learn how to separate myself from the plate that was in front of me so that I can get to the glory of God. That's what I'm going after. I'm going after the glory of God. By any means necessary. You get cut off. You get cut off. They get listen, everybody get cut off. But mainly you have to learn how to separate yourself from who you used to be. Don't let nobody bring up your past about what you used to do, because that's in the past. Don't let nobody hold that over your head about where you used to go, how you used to party, how you used to be out in these streets. That's the old you. So separate yourself from that person and let them know that the queen is here. Let them know that the king is here. Let them know that, yeah, I did some things. I'm not ashamed of it because it taught me a lesson. It taught me about faith. It taught me about courage. It taught me about anointing. It taught me about God and how he still loves me when everybody else looked over me, when everybody else degraded me, when everybody else abandoned me, when everybody else left me. God still loved me just as I am. Just as I am. So therefore, you have to learn that elevation requires separation. And I promise you, anybody that is on a professional level will tell you that you cannot run with the same people that you grew up with. And I'm going to give you a biblical fact. It said a prophet is not welcome in their own home. Why? Because people know too much about you. They seen you do too much. So they will never be able to honor you for the woman of God or the man of God that you are striving to be. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. But as long as we keep striving, as long as we keep separating ourselves from the things that come to hinder us, we are going to continue elevating. Use those as just stepping stones to your greatness. Use it as a stepping stone to your greatness. Somebody needs to hear that today. Use that as a stepping stone to your greatness, because I guarantee you, once you begin to elevate, once you begin to separate, God will begin to elevate. So I pray that this word has blessed somebody on today. It was just a quick word. I don't want to be on here too long, but